Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tier. Where all year I've been featuring my personal top 3,000 rock songs of all time from 1954 to 1999. Today I'm up to song number 2975, which is Too Much Heaven by the Bee Gees. This was their first song released from their album Spirits Having Flown, which was released, I believe, the beginning of 1979. And they actually had three number ones from this album, which isn't too surprising considering how popular they already were. Uh, I think their later songs on this album were Tragedy and Love You Inside and Out. Both of those went to number one. They had a total of nine number ones altogether. They were a huge group. I'm not going to go through the whole Bee Gees history. They started in the early 60s. Their early music was very different from their later music. I'd say mid 70s, they sort of took a new tact and went disco. And of course, everybody knows that they were featured in this very popular soundtrack called Saturday Night Fever, which was a soundtrack of the movie with the same title starring John Travolta. This is kind of the movie that really launched John Travolta's career into full thrust. Because the disco craze. I think this kind of launched the disco craze into full action too. I mean, disco was already popular. I'd say disco kind of started in the mid 70s, but it was getting more and more popular gradually, and this was kind of its culmination. This soundtrack and this album, Saturday Night Fever, which came out late 77. Of course, we know the hits from this album. The Bee Gees had three more number ones generated from this. Actually, I think they had six number ones on this soundtrack, but three of them were previous number ones. They were all disco hits, and uh, and this album too, "Spirits Having Flown," also had a bunch of disco hits. Like I said, it had three more number ones. So, but I didn't really like this album. I never had this album. I had Saturday Night Fever, like just about everybody else in the world, but I never bought Spirits Having Flown. And I guess that this is early '79. By then, I think most people were already ODing on disco. I know I was. I liked disco. For most of the disco era, I liked it. I mean, I was young, and most young people like disco. I was, I think, 16 or 15 when Saturday Night Fever came out. I think Grease came out shortly after that. I think I was 16 when Grease came out. But I mean, disco, as we all know, was highly commercialized, and I guess I got caught into some of that myself early on. But then I think by '79, not just me, but just about everybody in my high school started yelling "Disco sucks," and everybody just got really sick of disco in '79. I think it had already run its course, even for the Bee Gees, who were probably some of the better disco artists at that time. There were a bunch of other ones like Donna Summer, Chic. There were a whole bunch of them, but the Bee Gees were the biggest. Donna Summer was probably a close second, but I'm not crazy about this song, mostly just because I wasn't crazy about the disco era anymore. And I don't think it's that good a song either. I mean, it's sort of a soft disco song, kind of like How Deep Is Your Love. How Deep Is Your Love is a really good song, actually. I like the songs from Saturday Night Fever. I still do. And but I don't really like the songs from this album. I think we'd had enough of the Bee Gees by then. And that's why I only ranked this song as number 2975 on my list, even though it was a number one. Like I said in a previous disco, I don't think every number one song on my list is a good song, and this is an example. So, anyway, that's my profile on Too Much Heaven by the Bee Gees. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.